Hey, everybody. Today, we are going to tell you about a superpower that you have called jump to center. Jump to center. Everyone has this power. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter how old you are. Everybody can do this. They can jump to center. So what does that actually mean, jump to center? Center is a place inside of you where it is always calm and it is quiet and it is peaceful. And maybe most important of all, you can always be yourself in your center. So you have this spot where you can go when maybe things are going on around you. You know, if things are kind of chaotic and noisy and out of control, there's a spot that you can go where it is the opposite of that and it is calm and quiet. Another great thing about center is it's a great place to listen. You can listen to your own thoughts and you can listen to your body and what's going on there. And you can even listen to God and spirit. So sometimes if you have questions about how you're feeling or what you should do, jumping to center is a great way to be able to listen for some answers. All right, Barry, what are some other reasons that we jump to center? What are some times when we might want to do that?
Well, I think sometimes when we're feeling stressed or, we're feeling anxious, a little bit out of control, feels like there's so much stuff going on around us that we don't know what to do. Our mind just feels so full because people have been telling us so many things. I think at times like that, it's good to just go inside a little bit. Just find a place where we can go inside and feel that we're connected to something bigger than all the things that are swirling around us. So I think to me, the concept of jumping to center is getting into that space that's in the middle of us. As you said before, that's always calm, that's always there. And we can go there and we can relax and we can bring ourselves back into focus.
So everybody has a center. We already said that everybody does. What's interesting is that center can be different for different people, and it can even be different for you at different times. So sometimes people feel their center like right here in the middle of their forehead, because that's a spot that's really connected to higher powers and things going on. Other times people feel their center way down here in their belly button, in their belly. And that's part of feeling grounded, I think, is when you feel your center there. But for me, and for a lot of people, you feel your center in your heart. And that is the spot where you find your center. But how do I get there? Okay, I've got this center. How do I actually get there? Barry, how do I get to jumping into my center?
Well, I think first thing you got to do is just notice. Just notice that you want to slow yourself down. Notice that you want to jump to center. This is like, boy, I got to calm down. There's too much stuff going on around me. I'm feeling a little bit out of sorts, so I need to calm down. So sometimes we feel it in our breathing. Sometimes we feel it in our heart, but we want to slow ourselves down and relax. And a lot of it has to do with noticing, right? Just noticing and getting used to the way that our body works. A lot of times we can kind of feel it coming on, like I'm getting out of control here. I need to go for a walk, or I need to slow myself down. And I think the noticing is the beginning. And then we move to some techniques that we're going to talk about here, some techniques that can help us slow down.
We do have a lot of cool ways that you can try out to find your center and to jump to center. So one of them is breathing. What do you think about breathing to jump to center, Barry?
I think it's great. I think it's great because it just helps brings us to a point of focus. And one of the things that we can do is kind of count as we're breathing in and count as we're breathing out. When we learn how to meditate, a lot of it has to do with just focusing on our breathing. And I think it helps us jump to center. We can count into a count of 3 and count out to a count of 3. And then and when we breathe, we want to breathe deep and get down into our belly, like you were talking about. So when you take a deep breath, you can feel your belly expanding. I think that that's a great way to just move into that center spot. And I think the belly is a good indicator of being able to take a deeper breath.
So I heard it described once as Jedi breathing, like from Star Wars, Jedi breathing, right? Where you have to really get into this groove of, slow, steady kinds of breaths. So I love that, Jedi breathing. Okay, so the second one is called a body scan. So it's, picture like something scanning over your body. So you can kind of start at your head and just go down your body through your face and your shoulders and your arms and your chest and your belly and your legs on down into your feet. And you just kind of see, is there any part that feels kind of funky? Is something not quite right? And you can take a breath into that spot. And another thing about your body is your heart. We talked about how for so many people, their heart is where they really feel their center and find their center. So you can put your hands over your heart and say, thank you 5 times. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And that sounds so simple, but that is a great way to jump to center. Okay, what's another one, Barry?
I think another good one is to put both of your hands over your belly button, because then you can feel yourself breathing. And so you do that, and then when you take a deep breath in, you feel your hands go out. And then when you let it out, you feel your hands come back in. And then that really helps you to focus on that breathing and on that center and on that strength that's in your core. That's what's called our core right there. And we want to really let our stomach get full of air and to push our hands out. So I think that's a good way too.
I like that one, putting my hands on my belly button. Sometimes, here's another one, you can actually imagine in your head a stop sign, because if stuff is going on around you and you want to stop your thoughts and everything that feels crazy, you can actually visualize a stop sign, and that can help you. Or you can use a mantra, and a mantra is a word or a set of words that you just say over and over, and that can help you jump to center. Barry, do you have a mantra?
Sometimes I do a mantra when I just get going too fast. I got too many things. I'll just sit down and I'll just start saying, relax, relax, relax. Just trying to slow myself down and just relax into the place where I am and the space where I am. Let go of everything that went before, everything that's coming up. Just relax into the moment that I'm in. Just trying to slow myself down. So relax is a good word for me. I'm sending that message to my body as well as my mind.
That's a good one. Okay, the last one I think is one of the very best ones. And that is you can get grounded as a way to jump to center. So there's a few different ways that you can do that. For some people, just sitting down on the ground, either you just sit or you sit crisscross applesauce, but getting down on the ground, it can help you feel grounded. Some people like to actually stomp their feet down as hard as they can as a way to like stomp them into the ground. And then they pretend there are roots coming out of their feet, going down into the ground, and that their arms and their hands and their head are all the branches of a tree, right? That's a good visual to help you get grounded. Another good one is some people pretend that they're actually a giant and they stretch their arms up as high as they can and they plant their feet as hard as they can, and they are the connection between the sky and the ground. So those are all great ways that you can get grounded. So there's so many different cool ways to get to center, right? Things you can think, things you can say, things you can do, things you can feel, breathing and counting, and so many cool ways. So we have some suggestions about that, don't we, Barry, as far as experimenting?
Yeah, I think just like you do an experiment in school when you learn how things work, we get to experiment with ourselves and just see, how do I calm myself down when I need to? How do I jump to center? With all the distractions that we have and all the things going on, how do we do it? And so I think that we all personally figure out the ways that work best for us. So many people do meditation and centering exercises, and we each have to figure out for ourselves what works. How do I slow myself down and bring myself back into the middle?
All right. So we actually have an affirmation for today. Our affirmation is, I jump to center, and Know that life is good. I jump to center and know that life is good. Okay, and we're going to end with a song. This is a song that Barry wrote. It's called Hop to It. And in the song, we actually talk about jumping to center. So hop to it has to do with the frog. Frog, if you take the letters of frog, F-R-O-G, that stands for fully relying on God. And that comes up during the song. But he'll also talk about jumping to center in the song. And at the end, you can even practice jumping to center. All right, take it away, Barry.
Chop to it, here I go. I'm jumping to center right now. Stop that noise, I'm putting down my toys so I can hear my heart somehow. I can do it, I know I can be happy as a frog. I'm opening up to the power now, fully relying on God. Hop to it, I'm jumping in, swimming in an ocean of love. I got a body that's made of light, and it fits just like a glove. I'm moving through life in my own way. I'm not sitting like a bump on a log. I'm opening up to the power now, fully relying on God. I look around me on this beautiful day. There'll never be another one just like it. I think it's time to go out and play instead of watching people fussing and fighting. Whoa, hop to it, here I go. I'm jumping to center right now. Let's get together and make that leap. We can start right here, right now. We can do it, I know we can. We can be happy as a frog. I'm opening up to the power now, fully relying on God. I'm opening up to the power now, fully relying on God. Hop to it.
Awesome. Thank you, Barry. All right, everybody. We love seeing you. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.